What's up, everybody? Hello and welcome to episode 140 of the Speaking English podcast. My name's Sebastian, and I'm here to entertain you as always, and to remind you too that you can subscribe to the podcast in iTunes, or you can go to the website speakingenglishpodcast.com, and you can find ways to listen to everything and watch everything there, including the archive. There's also a little section where you can suggest new topics, like for example Karol did. Karol from Poland. He sent me a link to a YouTube video by a chap called Andy Williams, who, by the looks of the video, it looks kind of 1950-ish or earlier even. So there's a line in there where Andy Williams talks about a scene. And so the topic suggestion is scene versus sin. Okay, so we have scene, first one, S-W-E-N. Then we have the second one, scene, S-C-E-N-E. And the third one is sin, S-I-N. Okay, so the first two, scene and scene, are pretty much homophones, which means they sound the same. I've done this over and over in my head, and you could argue that the S sound in the second scene is a little bit longer. My tongue is coming from a little bit higher up. I'll demonstrate that in a second. But for the most part, you have to assume they sound the same. Okay, so the first, let me give you an example sentence. Did you see that movie? Yes, I've seen it. Okay, so it's see, saw, seen is the verb we're talking about. Is, you see something. And when somebody has seen the movie, he has already watched it. Okay, like yesterday. He's seen it, and it's a long E, seen. The second word, seen, is you can talk about a specific thing in that movie, a specific scene. Okay, so do you remember in The Matrix, the entrance scene where it's Trinity who has to escape from that room where she is telephoning Morpheus? Okay, and she's in, that's the scene. It begins when she picks up the phone. Actually, the movie begins a little bit different too. But it ends where she jumps through that window and into, and goes down the stairs, and then she gets into the phone booth and vanishes, and then comes the opening credit. That's the phone, don't worry about that. Okay, and so that's one scene of that movie. And you could argue that, like, maybe I'm hearing a little bit that it's a longer S, scene, but scene and scene is basically pronounced the same. And then we have sin. And I'm not over exaggerating here, it's sin. There's also a movie called, to stay in that area, Original Sin, with I want to say Antonio Banderas and Angelina Jolie. Maybe that's true. But it's sin. Okay, so well, what's a sin? For example, if you're married and you commit adultery, which means that you are seeing somebody else on the side, that's considered a sin. If you are religious, and I'm guessing, well, no, I wouldn't call it sin, but I wouldn't like it either. So sin is associated with religion a lot. Okay? Yeah? Sin. It's a very short I sound. Sin. Like in cinema. Sin. Okay? Karol, I hope that helped you. And there's the cat again, you can hear it. Seen versus sin. Alright. Well, 140 episodes, and also there's a newsletter which you can subscribe now, and there's a Facebook fan page, and there's a Twitter page. Facebook fan page is facebook.com/speakingenglishpodcast, and you can subscribe to the newsletter, and you can find the link on the homepage, speakingenglishpodcast.com. The Twitter handle is @speakingenglish, because Speaking English Podcast is too long. And I'd like to remind you to check out Blue's album, Watched Pot. Blue is the artist whose music you are hearing in the intro and the outro, which is one song off the album. And we'll do a little bit more about him in another episode. And of course, thanks to Flip for the camera. And have a great day. Bye.